Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the authentic statesman of modern India, an erudite parliamentarian and a great statesman. Atal Bihari Vajpayee was an eloquent orator and a man who stood firm in his political convictions. He is one of India's finest prime ministers who ushered in a new era of development and expansion. Emerging as a leader commanding esteem over the decade, a thoughtful and dignified human, he indeed was a man of the masses. His universal appeal is truly apparent. A gentleman in life and a legend in death, Vajpayee was above party and politics. The poet-politician was BJP's Vikas Purush. Formative years. Vajpayee was born into a Hindu Brahmin family on December 25, 1924 in Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh to Krishna Devi and Krishna Bihari Vajpayee. His father was a school teacher in their hometown. Vajpayee remained a single person all his life. He adopted and raised Namita Bhattacharya as his daughter, the daughter of his longtime friend Rajkumari Kaul and her husband B.N. Kaul. Education. Vajpayee attended Saraswati Shishu Mandir in Gwalior. In 1934, he was admitted to the Anglo Vernacular Middle School in Barnagar, Ujjain district after his father became the headmaster. He then attended Gwalior Victoria College for a bachelor's degree in Hindi, English and Sanskrit. He completed his postgraduate with a master's in political science from DAV College, Kanpur. Early revolutionary activism. His active work commenced in Gwalior with Arya Kumar Sabha, of which he became General Secretary in 1944. He also joined the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh in 1939 as a volunteer. Influenced by Baba Saheb Apte, he attended the RSS officers training camp from 1940 to 1944, becoming a pracharak in 1947. He halted studying law due to the partition unrest. He was sent to Uttar Pradesh as a vistarak and soon began working for the newspapers Deen Dayal Upadhyay, Rashtra Dharm, a Hindi monthly, Panchjanya, a Hindi weekly, and the newspapers Swadesh and Veer Arjun. In 1942, at the age of 16, Vajpayee became an effective member of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. Although RSS chose not to participate in the Quit India movement, in August 1942, Vajpayee and his brother Prem were apprehended for 24 days. He was released after issuing a written statement that although he was part of the mob, he did not participate in the militant events in Bateshwar on 27 August 1942. Political career. Early years. 1947 to 1975. In 1951, Vajpayee was endorsed by RSS along with Deen Dayal Upadhyay to work for the New Bharatiya Jan Sangh, a right-wing Hindu political party affiliated with RSS. He was appointed National Secretary of the party in charge of the northern region based in Delhi. In the 1957 Indian general election, Vajpayee contested for Lok Sabha. He lost to Raja Mahendra Pratap in Mathura but was elected from Balrampur. At Lok Sabha, his rhetoric skills were so remarkable that Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru foresaw Vajpayee will one day become Prime Minister of India. After the death of Deen Dayal Upadhyay, the leadership of Jan Sangh was assigned to Vajpayee, making him the national president of Jan Sangh in 1968. Subsequent years. 1975 to 1995. Vajpayee was apprehended along with several other opposition leaders during the state of emergency imposed by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi in 1975. Initially detained in Bangalore, Vajpayee was transferred to a Delhi hospital after his plea due to poor health. The state of emergency ceased in 1977. A coalition of political parties including BJP formed the Janata Party and won the 1977 general election. Morarji Desai, who was elected leader of the alliance, became Prime Minister. Vajpayee was Minister of Foreign Affairs in Desai's cabinet. Vajpayee was the first foreign minister to address the United Nations General Assembly in Hindi in 1977. India believes that the world is one family. After so many difficulties through the UN, it's possible to fulfill this dream. I am not thinking about our glory, but the common man's upliftment is of utmost importance. In 1979, Desai and Vajpayee resigned, leading to the collapse of the Janata Party. The original members of Bharatiya Janasangh assembled together to form the Bharatiya Janata Party in 1980, with Vajpayee as the party's first president. The 1984 general election was held after the assassination of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. While winning the 1977 and 1980 elections from New Delhi, Vajpayee moved to his hometown of Gwalior to contest for 1984 election. Vajpayee lost to Scindia, winning only 29% of the vote. Under Vajpayee, the BJP moderated Jansangh's Hindu nationalist stance, emphasizing its relationship to the Janata Party and asserting support for Gandhian socialism. The ideological shift did not lead to success. Indira Gandhi's assassination progressed favor with Congress, leading to mass victories in the polls. The BJP has only won 2 seats in parliament. Vajpayee offered to resign as party chairman after the BJP's dismal performance in the election, but remained in office until 1986. He was elected to the Rajya Sabha in 1986 from Madhya Pradesh and was briefly the leader of the BJP in parliament. In 1986, L.K. Advani took office as president of the BJP. Under him, the BJP reverted to an authoritarian Hindu nationalist policy. It became the political voice of the Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir movement, which seek to build a temple dedicated to the Hindu god Ram in Ayodhya. The temple would be built on a site believed to be Ram's birthplace following the destruction of a 16th century mosque known as Babri Masjid, which still stood there. This strategy, however, helped BJP win 86 seats in the Lok Sabha in the 1989 general election, making it support for the government of VP Singh. Serving as the Prime Minister of India. First term. During a BJP committee in Mumbai in November 1995, BJP chairman Advani declared openly that Vajpayee would be the party's prime minister candidate in the upcoming elections. The BJP became the largest party in parliament in the 1996 general election, aided by religious polarization across the country after the Babri Masjid was dismantled. Indian President Shankar Dayal Sharma called on Vajpayee to form a government. Vajpayee was sworn in as India's 10th Prime Minister, but the BJP failed to bring together the majority of Lok Sabha members. Consequently, Vajpayee resigned after 16 days, realizing that he did not have enough support to form the government. Second term, 1998 to 1999. After the collapse of the two united front governments between 1996 and 1998, the Lok Sabha was dissolved and new elections were held. The 1998 general election put the BJP ahead of the rest once again. Several political parties joined the BJP to form the National Democratic Alliance, and Vajpayee was sworn in as Prime Minister. Vajpayee is credited with successfully managing this coalition while facing ideological pressure from party hardliners and the RSS. In May 1998, India led 5 underground nuclear tests in the Pokhran Desert in Rajasthan, 24 years after the first nuclear test in 1974, Smiling Buddha Operation. These tests received an intense international criticism and lead to a steady decline in foreign and commercial investments. However, these international sanctions failed to sway India from weaponizing its nuclear skill. United States sanctions in India were also abolished after only 6 months. From the end of 1998 to the beginning of 1999, Vajpayee launched a full-scale diplomatic peace process campaign with Pakistan, With the historic launch of the Delhi-Lahore bus service in February 1999, Vajpayee launched a new peace process aimed at ensuring the resolution of the Kashmir conflict and other conflicts with Pakistan. The resulting Lahore Declaration endorsed the commitment to dialogue, the expansion of trade relations, mutual friendship, and envisaged the denuclearization goals of South Asia. The Vajpayee's government lasted for 13 months under mid-1999, when All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam under J. Jayalalitha withdrew its support. The government lost its next vote of confidence in the Lok Sabha by a single vote on 17 April 1999. Since the opposition could not provide numbers to form a new government, Lok Sabha was again dissolved. The Vajpayee administration was reduced to caretaker status pending new elections scheduled for October 1999. Kargil War, May 1999. Kashmiri herdsmen discovered the presence of militant and uneven Pakistani soldiers in the Kashmir Valley, which towered over border hills and uninhabited border posts. The invasion was centered around the town of Kargil. The Indian Army responded with Operation Vijay, which was launched on May 26, 1999. This enabled Indian troops to fight thousands of militants and soldiers amidst heavy shelling, facing extremely cold weather, snow, and dangerous terrain in the highlands. It is estimated that more than 500 Indian soldiers were killed and around 600 to 4,000 Pakistani militants and soldiers were killed during the 3 months long Kargil War. General Pervez Musharraf resisted and Nawaz Sharif remained radical after Pakistan has suffered heavy losses and the United States and China have refused to tolerate the invasion or threaten India to suspend military operations. Militants were asked to stop and retreat to position along the LOC. Third term, 1999 to 2004. The 1999 general elections took place in the aftermath of the Kargil War. The BJP lead NDA won 303 of the Lok Sabha's 543 seats, a stable majority. On 13 October 1999, Vajpayee was sworn in as Prime Minister of India for the third time. A national crisis erupted in December 1999 when Air India's flight IC-814 from Kathmandu to New Delhi was hijacked by 5 terrorists and brought to Afghanistan under the Taliban. Under pressure, the government eventually accepted many demands raised by the hijackers and subsequently released certain terrorists like Masood Azhar from prison and exchanged them for passengers. In March 2000, Bill Clinton visited India. Clinton's visit was cherished as a significant juncture in the relationship between the two countries. Vajpayee and Clinton had a series of discussions on both regional and international development, expansion of trade and economic relations between India and the US. A vision document for the future course of Indo-US relationship was also signed during the visit. However, his third term as PM was filled with difficulties and confusion. On January 17, 2000, there were reports from RSS and some BJP extremists threatening to restart Jan Sangh, the predecessor of the BJP, due to resentments with the Vajpayee government. Home Minister L.K. Advani and Human Resources Development Minister Murli Manohar Joshi were indicted in the 1992 demolition of the Babri Mosque for inciting an activist mob. Vajpayee himself came under public scrutiny for his controversial speech the day before the mosque was demolished, accompanied by internal struggles in administration and confusion in the direction of the government. Vajpayee's declining health was also a matter of public concern as he had undergone major knee replacement surgery. Vajpayee started negotiations with Pakistan and invited Pakistani President Pervez Musharraf to Agra for a joint summit. But after 3 days of fanfare, including Musharraf visiting his hometown in Delhi, the summit failed to achieve a breakthrough as President Musharraf refused to put the Kashmir issue aside. On December 13, 2001, a group of veiled men armed with erroneous identifiers raced to the House of Parliament in Delhi. The terrorists managed to kill many security guards, but the building was rapidly sealed and security forces of the army killed those men who were later proven to be Pakistan nationals. In addition, the terrorist attack on the Kashmir army garrison in May 2002 intensified the tension between two countries, as a threat of war between two countries capable of nuclear power and deriving from the rebuilt possibilities of nuclear exchange. The international diplomatic mediation focused on the dissemination of the circumstance. In October 2002, India and Pakistan declared that they would withdraw their border troops. The Vajpayee administration brought in the Prevention of Terrorism Act in 2002. In late 2002 and 2003, the government accelerated economic reforms. The country's GDP growth exceeded 7% per year from 2003 to 2007. In July 2003, Prime Minister Vajpayee visited China. He recognized Tibet as part of China, which was welcomed by the Chinese leadership, and the following year, they recognized Sikkim as part of India, improving the relationship significantly in the following years. Policies and reforms. The Vajpayee's government has introduced a number of national economic and infrastructure reforms, including encouraging the private sector and foreign investment, reducing government waste, and encouraging R&D and the privatization of some state-owned enterprises. Among the Vajpayee's projects were the National Highway Development Project and Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. In 2001, the Vajpayee government launched the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan campaign aimed at improving the quality of education in elementary and junior high schools. And of Vajpayee's tenure as PM. The NDA was expected to remain in power after the 2004 general election. However, the BJP was only able to win 138 seats in the 543-seat parliament, with several prominent ministers defeated. The NDA coalition won 185 seats. The INC, led by Sonia Gandhi, emerged as the largest party, winning 145 seats in the elections. The Congress and its allies, including many smaller parties, formed the United Progressive Alliance, which occupied 220 seats in parliament, forming the next government with Manmohan Singh as Prime Minister. Apparently, Vajpayee resigned as Prime Minister. Post-Premiership. In December 2005, Vajpayee announced his retirement from politics, announcing that he would not be running for the next general election. Deteriorating health and death. On 6 February 2009, he was admitted to the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi, for chest infection and fever. Vajpayee suffered a stroke in 2009, which impaired his ability to speak. He also suffered from long-standing dementia and diabetes. On June 11, 2018, Vajpayee was admitted to AIIMS in critical condition after suffering a kidney infection. He was officially pronounced dead at 5:05 p.m. IST on August 16, 2018 at the age of 93. India has reacted to Vajpayee's death with grief, and thousands of tributes have been poured out through social media platforms. Thousands of people paid their respects at his funeral. Legacy. The administration of Narendra Modi declared in 2014 that Vajpayee's birthday, 25 December, would be marked as Good Governance Day. The world's longest tunnel, Atal Tunnel at Rohtang, Himachal Pradesh on the Leh-Manali highway was named after Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Vajpayee was referred to as the Bhishma Pitama of Indian politics by former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. Honours and awards. Vajpayee received the Padma Vibhushan in 1992, Lokmanya Tilak Award and Outstanding Parliamentarian Award in 1994, the highest civilian award of the Republic of India. Bharat Ratna was awarded to him in the year 2015. He also received the Bangladesh Liberation War Honour in 2015. Conclusion. The statesman who believed in a forward-thinking India, Atal Bihari Vajpayee strived for a new era of proliferation and improvement. He was a prudent diplomat who triumphed as dignified personality, earning himself reverence and esteem. He was universally recognized for his tireless endeavor in building an optimistic relationship with other nations. He was dedicated to his democratic ideas and was firm in his convictions. Though his political quest was filled with trouble and confusion, he governed the country in the direction of growth and development. A veteran parliamentarian, Vajpayee was a charming poet indeed. His publications are notable. He is one of the true leaders modern India has glimpsed, who rendered his intellectual and eloquent skills for the advancement of our nation.